Let's talk about evaluating expressions. When we evaluate an expression, we are going to substitute, or you could also use the word replace. We're going to substitute or replace the variable with a number. I'm going to tell you what that number is. When we do that, then we go ahead and just find the value of the expression. Use math using our PEMDAS, our order of operations. Here are some helpful hints. When you are evaluating, it's oftentimes nice to use parentheses when we replace our variable. I don't always do this. I do this when I have negatives involved, so I don't just lose my negative. But I use parentheses to help keep myself organized. Sometimes it's helpful, sometimes it's not. You need to write it down exactly as written. Don't start trying to solve things in your head. Do not solve things yet, especially with longer problems. You have to write out the whole thing. If you start solving it too soon, you're gonna miss stuff. Be careful of your negatives. Oh, these will trip us up so easily. Then we want to simplify each term in order using our order of operations, and we are going to make sure we're writing out our work. Don't try to solve this in our head. Let's go ahead and do some practice. Evaluate 3 times W, a number, minus 62. And I want, in this case, W to equal 71. Okay, first step is I'm going to rewrite my entire thing, and I'm just going to replace W with 71. So I'm going to write 3 times. Now I'm going to keep my parentheses here. I'm just going to, instead of writing W, I'm going to write 71. So I just rewrote my entire problem, replacing W with 71. In this case, I didn't use parentheses because it's pretty basic. Now I'm going to solve using order of operations. 71 minus 62. So let's figure out what that is. 71 minus 62 is 9. Okay. Now I can just do 3 times 9, and that is 27, and I'm going to circle my final answer. So evaluating 3 times W minus 62 when W is 71, I get the answer of 27. Now if I were to give you a different value of W, if W were to equal 14, I would go ahead and I would have a different value here. Let's do one with a negative. Whoa. Evaluate 2 times 14 minus a number when that number equals negative 5. Here's when I am going to use parentheses to not lose track of my negative. So I'm going to rewrite the whole thing. 2 times 14 minus, now notice this right here, this x is what I'm going to put in the parentheses here. This negative is here. This value of x is going to go inside my parentheses. What does x equal? It equals negative 5. So this negative 5 goes in the parentheses here. Take a moment and see why that makes sense. Here's the 2, here's the multiplying, here's the 14, here's this subtraction sign or this negative sign. This x here is being replaced with negative 5. Now I'm going to go ahead and start simplifying. I do not like 2 negatives right next to each other. The opposite of negative 5 is positive 5. So I'm just going to rewrite this as 2 times 14 plus 5. Get rid of that negative right away. Now I'm going to do order of operations. 2 times 14 is 28 plus 5. 28 plus 5 is 33, and circle that bad boy. All right, next one. Oh, I have a squared. X squared minus 2x plus 1 for x equals 3. Again, here's where I'm going to use my parentheses. I'm going to replace this x with parentheses. So this whole value is going to be squared. And then I'm going to subtract 2 times a number plus 1. Notice right here, I just replaced this variable x with a parentheses. So here's x squared minus 2x plus 1. And I'm going to replace what's in the parentheses with a 3. 3 and 3. So this is saying I have 3 squared minus 2 times 3 plus 1. Take a moment and see why that works. Now let's go ahead and do order of operations. I have exponents. 3 squared is 3 times 3 is 9. Then I'm going to go ahead and do this term as well. Negative 2 times a positive 3 is a negative 6. And then that plus 1 just remains plus 1. I'm going to solve left to right. 9 minus 6 is 3. 3 plus 1 is 4. Let's go ahead and do, a fraction. Remember, there are invisible parentheses around our numerator and our denominator. Okay, and I have x is negative 3, so I'm going to use parentheses for that n. So here's my fraction. I have 2, here's n, plus 11, and then here's that negative 5. All I did was replace n with a kind of an empty parentheses. Now, in this empty parentheses where this n was, I'm going to pop in or replace a negative 3. There we go. So I replaced n with negative 3. So now I have 2 times negative 3 plus 11 in my numerator. Let's see, can we do some of that? 2 times negative 3 is negative 6. So I have negative 6 plus 11. And then my denominator is still negative 5. Negative 6 plus 11 is, 11 minus 6 is 5. And my denominator is still negative 5. 5 divided by negative 5 is negative 1. So that whole thing equals negative 1. That was quite a bit of evaluating for expressions.